Bonjour à tous. We spent the start of our second week in the house doing a bit more relaxing, which was easier to do now that we had a few more pieces of furniture. We also did a bit of planning and research, trying to decide which project we wanted to tackle first. We wanted to make the most of our time since we had only about a week before heading back to Texas. We haven't relocated permanently yet. We'll be splitting our time between Amboise and Austin for a little while. One thing we did was upgrade our shower a teensy bit. We know that we're going to be ripping this whole shower out when we remodel this bathroom, so it's just a temporary fix. The annoyance was that the shower wand didn't fit in the pole thingy. You had to hold it over your head with one hand to get a shower effect. It made washing my hair a bit more challenging than it needed to be. It was one of those annoying little things that we could have lived with for a little while longer, but it was a cheap and easy fix that would add a lot of comfort. So we got the cheapest replacement wand and pole thingy, and Patrick installed them. Even though it was a bit like putting lipstick on a pig, adding comfort and convenience where you can makes living through a renovation a lot easier. We also wanted to get more DIY supplies, namely wallpaper removal tools, because we thought getting a start on removing the miles of yucky wallpaper would be good. We weren't sure if we'd need a wallpaper steamer or what. I was looking on Amazon to see what they had and saw this product with 2,393 reviews and a 4.5-star rating. So that seemed pretty good. And it was really cheap. It was non-toxic, and it was available for next day delivery. So that was awesome because we'd already turned in the rental car and couldn't quickly and easily run a lot of errands anymore. So we ordered it, and it arrived the next morning. First Amazon delivery. This is supposed to be something we can remove the moldy wallpaper with.
Queldi, Keldi, QLD.
Hope it works.
This is all.
Works like a dream.
Do this whole room in one day.
Yeah. God, that's awesome. Thanks, Amazon. We'd chosen this bedroom for ourselves because it has a usable bathroom attached, and we love the view over our back garden. If you're tall enough, you can even see the castle. Bye-bye, moldy curtains. After removing the musty curtains and carpet, chunk 'em. Woo! We slept in the room for a couple of nights, but we realized the air quality still wasn't great in there. Patrick decided to spray the walls down with a vinegar solution like he had downstairs. Unfortunately, it didn't go so well on the wallpaper. It didn't dry out and dissipate quickly like it had on the stone walls. It smelled like a pickle factory, so we packed up and moved across the hall. This bedroom is the cleanest of the three. We've made a mess of it with our suitcases and piles of packaging, and it does have this scary cabinet. We'll just keep that closed. But the walls have clean paper that's free of mold, so that makes it the cleanest bedroom for now. The Then we started the wallpaper removal marathon that we'd be continuing through the rest of this trip, and probably for a long time to come. I found the date written on the wall behind the paper. This wallpaper is almost as old as me, so it's pretty old, but not historic or anything. After a good night's rest, it was time to get started on round 2. Patrick soon joined me to get the high spots near the ceiling, after taking a little gardening break. This is almost as good as a drone shot. At this point, we'd gotten quite a bit done, and we were tired of scraping walls. So we decided to take a long walk to some shops on the other side of the river. It's about a 20-minute walk to that part of town from our house. We stopped into the brocante again.
This is not the record player I want, but it's cool.
Oh, it's very cool though. But I did get a cute lighting fixture I'd been eyeing. Green and pink is my favorite color combo, so I couldn't resist. The pink roses appear to be hand-painted, and I just think it's really sweet. I think we'll find a place for it in our kitchen. We stopped to pick up a baguette, as you do. In true Amboise style, it started pouring rain as soon as we started walking again. It was a torrential downpour with the kind of wind that blows your umbrella inside out. Saving the baguette was our top priority. So now I'm about to tackle the wallpaper in this bathroom, which obviously had a leak in the past. It's pretty gross. It's the bathroom we've been using, and it's kind of yucky. They had like a leak and then they put more wallpaper over it. Yeah, so luckily there's not that much, but there's some gross spots. This is where they had a cabinet previously, and there is some mold on these walls too, like there was in the bedroom adjoining this bathroom. We have nowhere to put our stuff at the moment, so it's just sitting on the ground. And there's the shower, and there's more wallpaper up there. And yeah, it's just kind of gross. So I'm gonna start removing that. This wallpaper is a different type than the floral wallpaper in the bedroom. It's in 2 layers. The top layer is almost like a thin vinyl and peels off easily, leaving a thin paper lining underneath. The paper layer has to be soaked with the Calide and scraped off. Meanwhile, Patrick had the more difficult task of removing the wallpaper behind the radiator. Then he helped me with the high spots in the bathroom that I couldn't reach. When you're the tall one, you tend to get tasked with all the jobs that require long arms. Puis le dîner et le dessert at Mamie Bigoud, a quirky little cafe that's quick and easy. Pro tip, show up around 7:30 and you'll most likely get a table. We did this often when we hadn't planned ahead and made a reservation, especially at busier places. The French typically eat around 8 p.m., so it's a great workaround for spontaneous dinner plans. Sure, you'll look like a tourist, but isn't that better than not getting a table at all? Yep, you guessed it. More paper stripping. This little room is a tiny bedroom that I'm going to use as my art studio / sewing room, an all-around crafty atelier. The wall around the window obviously suffered a pretty bad leak at some point. The wallpaper is really damaged and the plaster is crumbling away. This blue floral wallpaper looks to be from the 50s maybe? It's not super old. But we discovered remnants of much older wallpaper in layers underneath it. As soon as I saw that, I knew that I wanted to preserve it somehow. The paper lining was really fused to the older layer underneath. Lightly scraping it away wasn't doing anything. So we tried wetting it with the Calide solution. That did the trick. We were able to carefully peel the paper lining away while it was wet. Using rubber dish gloves really helped too, because they kind of grabbed the paper. This probably isn't the method a professional would use, but hey, it worked. Is that part of the wallpaper or a different one on top of it? Because there's multiple layers under that light fixture.
I think there might have been another one on top of it, but I can't tell.
So just how are we going to save it, you're probably wondering? Well, I thought through a few possibilities. My first idea was to put an ornate frame around the section that Patrick initially unveiled. But then we realized there was a lot more of the old wallpaper there. We kept uncovering more and more fragments, which almost completely covered 2 walls. So I think I've decided to leave the fragments how they are for an elegant decay sort of vibe. I can coat them with some kind of sealant and then carefully paint the walls around the wallpaper. Hey, look, here's one where you can actually see the swan head, sort of. Yeah, it's so cool. Turns out that there are significant remnants of 3 distinct layers of wallpaper. The colorful floral is the most recent. There was a white design underneath that. And then the oldest one is the deep blue-green one on the bottom. That one seems pretty dang old. I've seen some cool examples where people left the wallpaper fragments and the plaster wall completely as is, without painting it. But that seems to look best when there isn't a lot of contrast between the color of the wallpaper and the plaster. In our case, there is a lot of contrast. That dark bluish color just doesn't blend with the plaster. So I'm thinking maybe a light gray blue, a cool gray tone that matches the design of that oldest wallpaper pattern. That seems like it would help unify the walls, but still allow the patterns to pop. So fussing over these wallpaper remnants is how we spent the majority of our last couple of days in Amboise. Then we were soon back in Austin, reuniting with our sweet little dog, Jojo. Did you miss us?
Oh, you're a good boy.
We missed you. But don't worry, we'll be back in Amboise in a matter of weeks. And in the meantime, we still have a lot of really cool stuff coming up. We uncovered some more hidden surprises in the fancy bedroom that we're going to show you in our next video. This room might be a lot older than we were originally told. So get ready to sleuth it out with us. See you next time.